decided it was time to really do what I was made for, and I went to culinary school. After college, there are 7 recipes in your packet, and there's a shopping list for those 7 recipes. And those 7 recipes cost about $90 to make. So if we do a little math, it's a little less than $13 per recipe, and each recipe serves at least 4 people, sometimes 6 people. So we're looking at less than $3 per person. One thing I can say about cooking with kids is I taught 7 to 9-year-olds. We let them do everything in the kitchen, and they'll eat it if you let them touch it and mess with it beforehand. And they can do a lot of stuff. I taught a class to a group of 9-year-olds on making pasta by hand. They made pasta, they made pesto sauce by hand, they rolled out the pasta, they used the pasta machine and cut it, they boiled it, no one got burned, and they ate it, and it was green pesto sauce. So it was very cool to see that. And we did a program on edible flowers, and 7-year-old kids going crazy over salad because it had flowers in it, and eating it. So it can be done, and I think if you put your kids in the moment of cooking, they're going to actually eat some of the stuff that you make. So I diced up some onion and a little bit of garlic. I like my risotto. We're going to make the quinoa risotto, so if you want to follow the recipe. So you want to get the butter nice and melty, and you're going to add your onions and the garlic. And I like a lot of garlic. It's really up to you how much garlic you use, or if you use it at all. But you've got to use fresh garlic in this recipe. It tastes a lot better. So you're going to want to keep the heat kind of low. You want to just watch it and make sure that you're not getting any color, but that your veggies are cooking down and getting really soft. And one way to speed that process up is a little bit of onions have cooked down really, really well. And the next thing we're going to add is some white cooking wine. And this is in the vinegar aisle at most grocery stores. You don't have to go into a liquor store to buy this kind of cooking wine, but it is not white wine vinegar. A little bit, and that's probably about 2 tablespoons. I'm very bad about not measuring, so I apologize for that. But you're going to put it on, turn the heat up just a little bit at this point, and you're going to want to cook all the wine out. At this point too. This is about 8 ounces of mushrooms. It's 1 package. I use Creminis mushrooms as opposed to the white button mushrooms. These, I think, just have a little bit more flavor. Price-wise, about the same. And these are just baby portobello mushrooms, so sometimes you'll see them listed as baby bellas or creminis. They're the same thing. So they're just like a little darker brown. So I'm going to add these at this time. If you really, really like mushrooms, you can add more than this, but 8 ounces is pretty good. So we're going to let all that cook down. So I'm adding kale to this recipe. I have not felt it raw. You guys are okay. So if you want to just pass this around, it has a lot of texture. It doesn't get all mushy. It really holds this kind of nice texture, even in soups and like the dish that we're making tonight. So just put it in here. It's a lot of water, so it will cook on its own. You don't need to add too much water back in to cook it. And mushrooms have a ton of water, so you sort of just let the steam cook all the rest of this. You don't need to add any more fat at this point either. So, and when you get it warm, it turns this beautiful, like super neon green. Yeah. So let's talk about quinoa. This is 8 servings. It like quadruples in size when we cook it. So this is actually 8 servings. This is the very, very high in fiber, and 1 serving, which is a 1/4 cup dry, is 9 grams of protein. So it is a complete meal. A cup would be 4 servings, 1 cup dry, and you'll see it fluffs up a ton, and it cooks quite quickly, faster than rice. So I'm going to pour it in, and I like to put it back on and sort of toast it and get it coated with all the fat and the flavor. I'm going to put a little bit more wine in here. Once I put it on, you can use, if you have like a bottle of wine that you are actually drinking, you can use that too, but I wouldn't waste good wine. Let's do the quinoa a little bit. This is what we're looking like right now. water.
It smells good.
Traditionally, when you make risotto, you add a tiny bit of water at a time, let it cook really slowly. It takes forever, but that's when you're doing it with rice. When we're doing it with quinoa, we don't need to do nearly that much cooking. So that was about 2 cups of water. You need about another half cup. And I'm going to turn the heat up so we get it to a boil. I'm going to season the dish with a little bit of crushed red pepper, not much. I sort of put it in almost everything I make just for a little something extra, but literally like that much. You don't need a ton. I'm not trying to make everything like run back in your throat, but it just adds another dimension of flavor to the dish. And the way that you know that it's done is it gets soft, semi-translucent, and you can see the germ inside. So there's like going to be like a ring. You'll see when you eat it, but not those kind of germs.